This is Advanced Math, Unit 1, Lesson 2. That's Advanced Math 1.2 notes. Factor review continued. I'm going to put here, we're going to factor completely. And make sure that you put your name up here, name and period, so that when you turn it in, it has your name on it. Okay, number 1. 25x squared minus p minus q quantity squared. Now they are going to get a lot harder when we're factoring in this unit, so you want to make sure you can tell them apart. This is a chunk, but it is a term. This is the first term. This whole 25x squared is the first term, and p minus q squared is the second term. So there are two terms here. I know this looks wonky, but it's just one chunky piece as a term. So this is difference of two squares. Now if it helps you, you could use substitution. I'll show you in another one how to use substitution. For now, I'm just going to factor 25x plus parentheses in bigger parentheses, and then 25, and that's, sorry, that's not 25x, that's 5x, and then 5x minus the parentheses. Now do you see how that works? 5x plus p minus q and 5x minus p minus q, because this here is what's quantity squared. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. P minus q times p minus q is p minus q quantity squared. All right, there's nothing to distribute in here, so it's just 5x plus p minus q. And there is something to distribute here, so that's 5x minus p plus q. And you cannot have nested parentheses. It's not okay to leave your answer with parentheses within bigger parentheses. So you do have to distribute and combine like terms if any like terms exist. There's no like terms here, so that there is your final answer. Okay, number 2. 5 parentheses x plus y plus parentheses 4 minus q parentheses x plus y. Okay, this also has two terms. This is your first term. This is your second term. First term, second term. Your first term has two factors, the 5 and the x plus y, and your second term also has two factors, the 4 minus q and the x plus y. And these two terms have a common factor. The common factor is x plus y, so that's your greatest common factor. You're going to factor it out, and what's left over when you factor out the x plus y's? A 5 plus parentheses 4 minus q, bigger parentheses. When I factor out the x plus y, 5 and a 4 minus q is left over. Now I put in parentheses just in case there's anything to distribute out here. There's not, so I can just drop them and be done with this problem, because, oh, nope, not done. There are like terms right there. So I get x plus y and then 9 minus q. Okay, next one. Remember, make notes if you have any questions. Number 3. 121x squared minus 36 parentheses m plus n quantity squared. Okay, this one is similar to number 1 in the fact that there's two terms and they're both perfect squared. Here's my first term, 121x squared, and it's a perfect squared. The square root of that is 11x. All of this is my second term. There's two factors, but all of this is one term. 36 parentheses m plus n squared. And this is also a perfect squared. You take the square root of this, you get 6 and m plus n. 6 times m plus n. Okay, so this is a difference of two squares problem. I know it looks a little different. So here is where I'll use substitution if you like it. Now, I do not require it. Personally, I'd rather you do it like we did up here without the substitution. But if the substitution helps, I definitely suggest you use it. And here is how it works. 121x squared minus 36, m plus n is u, so u squared. because this I replaced with the u. N plus n is u, and the squared is still there. Now, sometimes that's easier for kids to see, oh, that's 11x plus 6u and 11x minus 6u. The only thing here is that I have to put it back in because there was no u in my original problem. 11x plus 6 parentheses, bigger parentheses, and 11x minus 6 parentheses, bigger parentheses. And what's going to go in is what u originally was, and u was m plus n, so I'm just going to put that back in here, m plus n, into both the parentheses, because that's what u is. Going to move my work up here and distribute 11x plus 6m plus 6n and 11x, and now I'm distributing a negative 6 minus 6x minus 6n because of that negative. All right, and then like terms, if any like terms exist, and there are no like terms on this one, so this here is your final answer. Now, I'd like you to put a nice heart right underneath your answer. Whether your notes look like mine or not, I should see a heart right underneath your answer or somewhere around this number 3. There's a reason why. I'll explain another day. But for now, you're just putting a nice pretty heart right in here. Okay. Number 4 is 3 times the quantity of x plus 2 squared plus 4 times the quantity of x plus 2 times the quantity of 3x minus 1 plus the quantity of 3x minus 1 squared. Yes, that is a big problem. I'm going to fix the way that looked. That's 3x minus 1. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it, but there's an x plus 2 here and an x plus 2 here. There's a 3x minus 1 and a 3x minus 1. There's 3 terms, first term, second term, third term. I am going to use substitution. So this time I'm going to let u equal x plus 2 and w equal 3x minus 1. Why am I doing 2 sets? Because there's 2 chunky pieces, the x plus 2 and the 3x minus 1. So I'm doing this so it's a little easier on the eyeballs. If you can factor this without substitution, perfect. This is to help for those of you that like it. Okay, 3x plus 2 is u squared plus 4x plus 2, which is u, times 3x minus 1, which is w, plus 3x minus 1 squared, so that's going to be w squared. Now I'm hoping you can look at this and say, oh, I see it, that's a trinomial, guess and check. It was a little harder on the eyes up here to see that, but now I can definitely see it. If any of you see it now, you can go back up here and factor without using substitution. I'm going to continue with. Okay, I know it's going to be 3u and u and w and w. My 2 signs are the same. The neighbor tells me they are both positive. Let's do a quick check. 1uw and 3uw adds up to 4uw, which is correct. Okay, checks. Now the only thing is I have to plug my u and my w back in. So it's going to look like this, big parentheses, 3 little parentheses plus little parentheses, big parentheses, big parentheses, and then little parentheses plus little parentheses. So this is just the 3u and then w and then u and w. So I'm going to plug them in now. U was x plus 2 and x plus 2, and w is 3x minus 1 and 3x minus 1. And remember what I said earlier, no nested parentheses. You have to distribute, combine like terms, and so forth. So if you left your answer like this, it would be wrong. You do have to distribute here. 3x plus 6 plus, there's nothing to distribute here, and there's a positive sign, so it's just going to be 3x minus 1 combine like terms, that gives you 6x plus 5. Whew. Next one, there's nothing to distribute, so I'm just going to drop the parentheses, x plus 2. Plus, and there's nothing to distribute either over here, and it's just a positive sign, so it drop the parentheses, 3x minus 1. Combine like terms, that is going to be 4x plus 1. And that there is your final answer. All right, take a picture, PDF it, turn it into Google Classroom, and we will work on the worksheet that corresponds with this lesson in class on our next block meeting. That is it for this lesson.